Hi everybody, Kristen Lloyd here with Bariatric Mindset, and I am here to talk about carbs, food, feelings, and your neurology, your neurotransmitters. And you may be like, what? But I'm here to talk to you about why food, especially carbs, makes you feel good and the biggest struggle that people have with carbs. What it does to your brain, and what it does to your body as a result. Okay, so let's get rolling. Most people who have bariatric surgery, all people who have bariatric surgery, need to cut the carbs. Okay, so if you are someone who has not had surgery yet, the WLS, post-bariatric diet, is high protein, low carbs. So you are eating high protein and good carbs, so vegetables that are low glycemic index, not starchy carbs, but vegetables, etc. Now, most people who have issues with addiction go to specific things that give them a rush. Okay, so not all people who are obese have eating disorders, and not all people who are obese have a food addiction. So that's good to know. But it's important to know how your body and how your brain reacts to food, especially to carbohydrates. And that is that there are two different neurotransmitters in our brain. Well, there's more than two, but the ones that I'm going to talk about today are dopamine and serotonin. So serotonin is the one that kind of is a mood regulator, and so some people might say, I'm depressed, and so when you get put on an antidepressant, one of those things is to regulate or give you more serotonin. There's another one, which is dopamine, which can sometimes be impacted by antidepressants, but dopamine actually gives you a hit right away. And so for carbs, you can get a dopamine hit from carbohydrates and from instant things that provide instant gratification. Your brain gets a dopamine hit, and then there's this sense of, ooh, that feels good. So for some people, when you eat carbs, that provides that instant gratification to your brain and then sends a signal to your body, right? This feels good. Now, the shame, blame, and guilt that we experience after, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, comes more from the conscious mind and comes more from recognizing that there was a need for that instant gratification. You acted on that need for that instant gratification because you needed that dopamine hit, okay? So this is interesting to understand because when you're changing your behavior after bariatric surgery, your stomach is smaller. And so this is why the doctors and everybody in your support team will say avoid the carbs, because you want to change your brain chemistry in addition to changing your body. And what we already know is that carbohydrates are processed, sugars are processed different in your body than proteins. And when you get that protein, that lean protein in those vegetables, your body is then able to burn the fat because it's not burning carbs. So carbs are burned first because those are turned into sugar, which then can be turned into fat. And I'm sure everybody knows that. If you don't, hit me up and I'll explain that. But that is kind of like basic 101, why are we not eating carbs? But more specifically, it's also to change the brain chemistry because it's to help you not continue to be addicted to those quick dopamine hits. So when you change your brain chemistry, and you're also changing your body, but also you're changing your mind-body reaction to food, And so one of the things that I've been talking with my bariatric clients this week is about the dopamine, is about the consciously recognizing what you're eating, and when you're having specific cravings, what are you craving? Are you craving something as a result of that dopamine hit? And of course, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm craving dopamine. You're not craving dopamine. You're not going to think that, because that's not how we think. What we think is, oh, I really want some potato chips, or I really want some ice cream, or I really want some cheesy bread, or those are the things where your brain goes to. And even people who, let's say, drank a lot before, or, oh, I really want a beer, or I really want this, or I really want that. It's important to recognize what you're wanting and then say why. Is it an anxious feeling? Is it mood feeling? Is it a comfort feeling? Because that could be your brain reaching for that dopamine hit, that instant gratification. And then it's important that we alter those behaviors in addition to the brain chemistry, because your patterns of thinking and feeling have been constantly cycling through, right, over time. And that's why you think and feel that way. So yes, you have altered your body. Yay! You have a pouch. Yay! Now we need to alter the brain chemistry and your behaviors consistently enough so that you are programming your brain, your psychological processing, so that you're changing your brain, you're changing your behaviors to get a different outcome. And before the surgery, it was very difficult to do that because your stomach was sending messages to your brain. And most everybody who's had surgery has heard about the hormone ghrelin, which is in your stomach. And when you have bariatric surgery, the ghrelin levels go down. So, and I can talk about that if you want to know what that is. Ghrelin levels go down, so you're not as hungry. But we still have what's called head hunger, because you still have the psychological memory of how that food felt, how that food made you feel. And so that's why people still go back to old food behaviors, because you may not have that physical hunger due to the ghrelin, which is now signaling to your brain, hey, no longer hungry. But you still have the mental memories of, ooh, chocolate was good, or ooh, ice cream was good, because that was something that you utilized to comfort yourself. Now, what I'm here to tell you is it's all possible to change, and it's really a step-by-step process. And so I'm telling you this today so that you understand, like, why am I this way? Is there something wrong with me? And I see clients every day that ask these questions, and I'm here to tell you, you're normal. You've had these patterns of behavior for a specific amount of time, and things can and will change once you do the work, once you work on yourself. And that was one of the big passions of why I am here, because I recognize that not a lot of people get the coaching or the therapy or whatever they need following bariatric surgery. And that's why I created Bariatric Mindset, to really help people make these long-term lasting behavioral changes and to help them change their psychology, their mindset after bariatric surgery. So, dopamine, food and feelings, you're completely normal. It's about consciously, step one, consciously saying, why do I want this? What do I want? Why do I want it? And then changing the behavior. Okay. So I would suggest that you guys start to keep a journal, if you haven't already, with food and feelings. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be rolling out a very awesome food and feeling journal within the next week. So I will be posting that under the link here when I get that up, so that you guys can download it and start to use it, because it will help you start to recognize this behavior change. And if you feel that you need additional help, please reach out to me. I have one-on-one coaching and a group coaching program that's actually about to launch in February, which I'm super excited about, which is really affordable for every income. So that is something that I'm excited about, because I know that this is something that people are like, okay, I've had the surgery, now what? And there are different stages, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, and so on into maintenance. And even people who, let's say, have had surgery 5 or 6 years ago, can still be experiencing this if you've not had the psychological shift in mindset and rewired that mind-body connection, and the brain chemistry has been altered because of the behavioral change. If you haven't connected psychologically, ooh, new behavior, this feels good, and you're still stuck in old behavior that felt good, that's where it's difficult to make the new change, because nobody likes to feel uncomfortable. So what we have to do is to go in and make that new change that new behavior comfortable, that new behavior desirable. Connect the new behavior with the outcome. Okay, so that's what I've got for you today. I will talk to you soon. Kristen Lloyd with Bariatric Mindset. Have an awesome day. Bye.